Justin, and I'm going to tell you the story about the most interesting day of my life. It happened 2 years ago. Me and my dad go every year camping in the Eastern Sierras, and basically just do fishing for a couple of days, maybe a little bit of hiking. And one of the trips I went on, I decided to hike up the trail to the tributaries that run down the mountains in the middle of the lake. And it's about, I'd say about a 7-mile hike, so it'll take up pretty much your entire day. And I get pretty bad migraines when I get dehydrated, so I try to make sure, pack my meds. So I go, start the day early, get up, pack a bag, a lot of water, meds, and then a little bit of snacks. So I head up past the lake, up these razorbacks, so up, just grueling uphill. So I get about 4 miles up, start getting lightheaded, start feeling the headaches. I go, okay, fine, whatever. I stop, open up my pack, pull out my meds, and not the right pills. They were my dad's like protein pills, whatever. And so I'm like, crap, I look down and I see way down there, there's the campgrounds with everything all tiny, and I'm stuck halfway up this mountain, starting to get a pounding headache. So I go, well, fine, I gotta turn back around because every step I take further is another one I gotta take back. So I start heading down, going downhill. Every step I take, it's kind of like a hammer just hitting the back of my head. And just keep going and going. It sucks. It's just super grueling. And I go, keep making it down. Make it down to the bottom at the lake. Go fine, not too far. Get to the campground, dragging my feet. It sucks. I can barely think. So I make it. I can see my tent. I walk over. My dad's gone. He's probably out bushwhacking, fishing. Not in my mind. Find my meds. I take them, and I go just try to pass out in the tent and then wake up and hopefully it'll be better. So as I'm laying there, all of a sudden I start hearing this like scream. It's like not really a scream, more like yelling, but it's unintelligible. It's just noise. And so I just whatever, like it's probably just some kids messing around. Doesn't go away. Doesn't go away. So I look at my tent and there's this kid standing, soaking wet in the middle of the road. So I walk up to him. I go, what's going on? He goes, help! My aunt's drowning. I say, well, all right, where you guys camped? So he takes me back, and I see in the creek there's this lady floating face down in the water, and it's rushing, and her feet are tied to a tree by a steel cable. So I hop in, and the water's moving pretty fast. It's about up to my navel, and I use the cable to pull myself over to her, and I flip her over onto her back, and her eyes are just like dinner plates. They're huge, and she's freaking out. So what happens is she grabs onto my shoulders, and then I pull on the steel cord just back towards the shore. What had happened was she was trying to get in the middle of the river to try to get this special spot fishing, and she used the steel cable around her waist as a loop. Well, not a very good idea. She slipped, and instead of catching her, it had slipped down and snaked around her ankles and was just bobbing her in the water. And so I fish her out, and she's coughing, hacking, and then she sits there. I go, you okay? And she's like, yeah. And so, all right, well, I hate to kind of be rude, but I have a really bad headache. I'll see you later. So I go back, and then I get back to the campsite, and I'm soaked head to toe. And then my dad is going, where the hell have you been? I go, well, we've been out catching trout. I just fished a 40-year-old woman out of the creek. And so we laughed about it. And what was happening was they actually invited us over for dinner because we got scotch. We didn't actually catch anything to eat that night. And so they got us steaks. So all in all, it's a pretty good day, out of the ordinary. And I guess it goes to show, don't always assume that people are crying wolf because sometimes they might actually need help. So that was the most interesting day of my life.